I remember just being like, how the hell did you let yourself get like this? Like, and I hated the way that I looked. I hated the way that I felt. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new, my name is Drea, and I would love for you to subscribe and also follow me on my Instagram, which I will leave in the description box for you guys. But today's video is going to be my updated weight loss and fitness journey and transformation. I'm going to be inserting pictures all throughout this video of my entire journey, and I am so excited to film this video not only for you guys and to hopefully motivate, inspire, or encourage any of you guys who are going through your fitness or weight loss journey, because I know it can be such a struggle, but also for myself, because I need to sometimes remind myself of how far I've come, because it's so easy to lose track of that when you're just like constantly seeing yourself fluctuate and fall short, and you can be really hard on yourself. So if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you think that absolutely anyone can benefit from this video, just share and sprinkle a little bit of inspiration, encouragement. Please share it with them, any friends, family, coworkers, anyone. So without any further ado, let's get right on to this video. Okay, so we're gonna take this journey all the way back to when I first started struggling with my weight. So I would say I was about 7 or 8 years old. Growing up, I didn't really play any team sports or something long term. I was always in and out of swimming, ballet, gymnastics, but I never did something for like a long period of time. And I wouldn't say I was ever obese, but I was overweight for my body and my height and my age. So then we moved here to the US when I was 10 years old, and I was obviously like going through my stage, and I remember just being so self-conscious of my weight because I came here, the girls were wearing like shorts to school and little tank tops. And even when we would do pool parties and stuff, I was always like dreading them. And then my older sister started getting into working out. We're only 3 years apart. So when she was going to spinning, when she was like 15, 16, I was around 11 or 12, and she would take me sometimes with her friends, or I would sneak in because you had to be like over a certain age. And spinning was where I really started to get into fitness. I loved going there because there was music, there was people, it was just pushing you, and like I hadn't really done anything. I hadn't played sports, I didn't move. So when I was pretty much overloading my body with spinning, I decided to start doing some weight training. And that is when I started doing the T-Fit boot camp. And this was like right where I live, like literally 5 minutes away from my house at the park, outdoors. And it was just like a big group of like 40 people. It was from people of all ages, just working out with dumbbells and kettlebells and pretty much just doing like a high intensity circuit. And Thomas, the trainer, he was pretty much teaching me everything. Like during the boot camp class, he knew that I was just there to do work. Like he knew that if I was showing up to the class, I was going to put in my best effort, and I was already in pretty decent shape from spinning. I had a good conditioning, and because of the resistance, I had a good amount of strength in my legs. So it made it easier to transition into weight training. But I really didn't know anything about weight training. I didn't know form. I didn't know what to do, how to do it, how much weight, like nothing. So doing a boot camp class was so helpful because it was pretty much teaching you how to do dumbbell press and shoulders and rows, and there was an ab circuit, and there was pretty much everything. Because it was outdoors and we live in Miami, there was like barely any shade, and I was sweating my ass off. Like I was putting in work since like 8th grade, and all through high school I was there like every single morning, and I would take classes in the afternoon also. Like I was so motivated. I pretty much did the T-Fit bootcamp classes for like 3 years. And that's when I saw the biggest change in my body, when I started really lifting weights, because I was getting toned instead of just kind of like losing weight. And like I said, I was curvy since I was young. So now my thighs were getting really muscular. My waist was looking slimmer. My butt was growing, and I was kind of just growing into my body, and I was so happy. I got comfortable enough doing the bootcamp class, and I became really familiar with like certain basic movements that I was just like, okay, I feel like I can start going to the actual gym by myself. And that's when it all took off for me, because I just fell in love with the gym. Like I was still struggling with my food a lot, and I still am till this day. I love food. Wherever I travel, wherever I go, like I'm thinking of food. Like there's people that honestly just never have this issue. Like I've spoken to people who are like, no, like I forget to eat. I basically have to force myself to eat. And I'm like, I wake up and I go to sleep thinking what I am gonna eat the next day. Like how, you know? So this is a struggle that I've had my entire life, and my whole family's like this. So it's so hard sometimes, because my mom will just show up to the house with like a cake, and she's like, I couldn't help it. And I'm like, over here trying to eat chicken and brown rice and she brings a cake. So back to my weightlifting, I started loving lifting weights on my own. So I was still doing the boot camp and then just doing weights on my own because I felt that the weights that we would do at boot camp, which were like basic dumbbells, it just wasn't heavy enough for me anymore. And I wanted to start lifting heavier weights and just doing my own workouts. At this point, I graduated high school, and the year that I graduated high school and I started college, that's when I was like, okay, I'm done with all these people. I'm not going to see them for a while. So let me start my YouTube channel and posting fitness and weight loss stuff on Instagram. Because I was doing YouTube, I felt like I really needed to push myself now. I had people that were looking up to me that I was influencing, and it just felt so good to be able to motivate, inspire people through my journey and my story. So I was Googling everything, I was researching, I was watching videos, and I pretty much wanted to master my form. I wanted to master everything. So 4 years ago, I joined a gym called Legacy Fit, and it's here in Wynwood in Miami. They also, now they have opened a bunch of them, and I am in love, like till this day. It's the best workout that I can possibly get. And when I tell you I've tried all of the gyms, I've tried them all. I've done Equinox, Orange Theory, Berries, I've done yoga, I've done it all. This is where I lift weights. It's where I do my high intensity interval training classes. And even boxing, that's just where I go. And that is where I've like really learned over the past few years, like how to work with my body and how to pretty much transform my body and what do I have to do. And I remember when I first started doing open gym, I was doing a lot of deadlifts, squats, and just like your typical booty workouts. But I didn't really see a big change in my glutes. I feel like I was just getting really toned and fit, but I didn't see my glutes growing. And that is when I started to watch a lot of videos and do a lot of research, and I stumbled upon Brett Contreras. The guy knows it all. Like he's an expert, and he's actually who I learned everything from. Like I owe all of my glute training to him. Obviously, one thing is getting in the gym and actually working out, but another thing is knowing what to do, which is the most important aspect. I feel like you can go to the gym and do a bunch of stuff and see no real results because you don't know what you're doing. So that was me for sure a long time ago. And then now I have a handful of workouts that I know are pretty much going to work my glutes and my hamstrings or whatever it is that I want to work out. I have literally no more than 10 workouts that I always rotate at the gym. So I have fluctuated with my weight a lot throughout my journey. Between the 6 years that passed, I have gone up and down between 127 and 158. 127, I remember I reached that like once in my life, but I feel like weight is just so difficult to measure your fitness and weight loss journey by, because there's time. I look back at pictures where I weighed 135 and pictures where I weighed 145, and I look better at 145 than I did 135. So I wouldn't say to focus too much on the weight, because it depends if you're building muscle, whatever it is that your goals are. Weight can be very deceiving, and it's also extremely discouraging. So if I could just give you one piece of advice, would be to not weigh yourself ever. If you want to weigh yourself when you first start and you know that it's not going to bother you, do it. But it's not a good way to measure your journey. So I would say to just take a lot of pictures and also use a measuring tape, because when time passes, you start getting used to just seeing your body every single day. But when you can put a picture side by side and be like, okay, this was a week apart or 2 weeks apart, 3 months apart, that is when you really start to see the progress and it really starts to motivate you. So around this time last year, so June of 2018, I found myself just like so disconnected and so frustrated and unhappy with myself. The way that I looked, I had gained a lot of weight, and I felt like in a way I was disappointing you guys, and I was trying to motivate you guys, but at the same time, I couldn't even motivate myself. I was still going to the gym, but the food aspect of it was just not there. I was eating whatever I wanted, and I had completely lost touch of the foundation that I had previously built through carb cycling and through just like being good at eating healthy like 80% of the time. And I just hit an all-time low. Like I remember I would wake up every single day and just look at myself and be like, how did I get here? Like how did I lose track of my path of where I was going? And I just felt so shitty about myself that I was like, I can't put myself out there and then people be like, oh, she gained weight, oh, she looks bad. I was so frustrated because I couldn't do what I loved because my weight was limiting me to do it. but it was not my weight, it was my mindset. I got to a point where I was so unhappy with everything in my life. So I was like, this has to change. And I realized that I had to change things in my life, and pretty much just get back to having a routine, because having a routine for me is everything. Like waking up at a certain time, working out at a certain time, and just having a structured daily routine is key. I had worked for so many years so hard, and then in a matter of 4 or 5 months, I had literally thrown it all away. And it is something that if you've struggled with your weight, you know exactly how this feels, and it's horrible. So I went to a trip to Costa Rica last year in August. And I remember going, and a lot of the girls that were at the surf camp who weren't fit at all, who you could tell literally never work out, and some overweight, and they were so confident and happy with themselves. And I was sitting there and I was so self-conscious. I remember just like putting a towel over my body, and I was sitting there and I was like, this has to change. I want to be that happy. So I knew getting back from Costa Rica, it was like grind time. And that's what I did. I got back in August, and I hadn't done a strict meal plan or diet in probably a year from getting back from Costa Rica. And that's when I was like, okay, it's happening. I'm doing keto. And I had never done keto in my entire life. And I watched all of the videos you can imagine. I read all of the articles. I pretty much just winged it. Like I was like, let's do it. And I did strict keto for about a month and a half, I want to say, and I saw amazing results. I was definitely losing weight, but I feel like I didn't know enough about keto. I don't feel like I was in ketosis the whole time. And I was feeling good. Like I wasn't hungry. I was eating much smaller portions, but it's just something that was not sustainable for me, because I love eating fruits. I love eating carbs, healthy carbs and bad carbs, but it's just not something that I would have been able to do long term. So it was working, but it's just not for me. I can't have a diet that limits me like that. So keto was pretty much what I needed at the time to give me that kickstart and to motivate me and be like, you can do it. Like you're losing weight, you're feeling good, you're looking good. So that's kind of like the little push that I needed. And then I was off from there. And for the next 2-3 months, I was pretty much just eating super healthy. But I was also giving myself, like cheat meals here and there. I would go out and have sushi. I would eat as healthy as I possibly could. 80% of the time, and then that 20% I would eat Halo Top, or I would eat frozen yogurt, or anything that I really was craving. So I would say around November through the beginning of January, I was super fit. I'm gonna insert videos and pictures here because I was so fucking proud of myself. I was like, I just did that. In like 3 months, I got in such good shape. I was working out a lot. I was doing a lot of weightlifting, and I felt so good. But then holidays came, and I started, kind of falling off track. Kind of started making excuses for myself. Started falling back into losing my routine and like that motivation that I needed. I had come so far, and I was literally back to where I was in June of last year. And that's where I was like, all right, I kind of just like lost so much hope, because there's no way of justifying it. Like eating healthy nowadays is so easy. For me, it's almost harder to eat unhealthy than it is to eat healthy, because I have healthy food stocked up at my house all the time. And for me to eat unhealthy, I have to like go out of my way to buy ice cream or buy Sour Patch or buy anything that is not good for me. I pretty much just made excuses, and I was overeating. I was still working out, but again, overeating. My issue has never been the working out part. I have asked myself like whether weight is something that I'm going to struggle with for the rest of my life, and possibly it can be, but I know that as long as I keep going at it and I keep working on it, I'll be fine. Weight gain can take such a toll on my mental health, and I know for a lot of people it does too. So as long as you're able to just accept yourself and love yourself the way that you are at that point in time, and know that you can always improve, and you can always get better, and that falling down and falling back from where you were, it's just a step back, and you can always, pick yourself up and keep going. Like that's the most important part. We all have our struggles. Some people struggle with anxiety, depression, weight loss, weight gain. There are so many things that people struggle with, and it's just important to find your balance. I think that's why I really felt like it was important to film this video, because a lot of people think that we have like this perfect life and like, yeah, I'm super fit year round, and it's not true. I just post at my best times, you know. That is where I was standing the last, I would say, 2 months. And now we are in May, and I feel like I'm finally getting it back once again, slowly. Like, I'm definitely not taking any drastic measures like doing keto, but I have realized that over the past 3-4 weeks I have decreased my portions, and I'm finally like kind of getting over that craving and that anxious eating, which was eating away at me the past few months. And now I'm at the point where I'm like super motivated again, and just focusing more on that 80-20 balance. So that is where I stand right now. So I am definitely not where I was 2-3 months ago, but I've still made progress from where I started my journey, and I felt like it was necessary for me to do this video because I wanted you guys to know that I am right here with you guys. I go through this myself all the time, and it's normal, and it's just a matter of getting back up. It's something that is so tough, and if you've struggled with your weight, you know exactly where I'm coming from, and I hope that this video helps you in any possible way. Like, watching videos like this helped me a lot growing up and struggling with my weight. So hopefully, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, if I can get one of you guys to hear this and get something out of it, like, that is why I'm here. And I would love for you to share this with a friend, a family member, a coworker, or anyone that is struggling with their weight. I want them to know that they're not alone and that they can too fluctuate and get back up and keep going. So make sure to share this video with anyone that you feel might benefit from it or get a little bit of inspiration from it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know, and also give it a big thumbs up. It'll really help me out so much. Let me know down in the comments what kind of videos you guys want to see from me. And if you're not following me on my Instagram, make sure to check out the description box. My Instagram will be there. I post on a daily basis there, especially in my stories. I am constantly chatting with you guys in the DMs and in the comments, so if you guys want to talk to me, make sure to send me a message. I would love to hear more about your journey or any way that I can help. Please let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know that this video was probably super long, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I love you guys so much. And until next time, I will see you guys later.